In today's video, we discuss Justice Ian Jaden, his wrongdoings and the consequences of his bad deeds. Justice Ian Jaden is the principal judge in Maracas Municipality. First, he suggested bribing editors and reporters with more boxes of chocolate after leaders were exposed by the Samaritan App and the newspapers. Page 22. He also boasted that he could escape punishment for wrongdoing by operating below the radar. That's on page 29. He has countless mistresses and relatives who do business with the municipal council. That is on page 69. He's also accused of hawking justice like cabbages and involvement in the grain scandal. Page 69 and 102. As a shareholder in Prime Orchard Farm, he reared rats and deliberately released them into rice and cornfields to undermine local production and boost demand for imported grains, from which his company benefited as a major importer. That is page 105 to 107. Justice Ian Jaden used his influence to award a rodent control contract to Vertebrate Pest Control Company, a subsidiary of Prime Orchard Farm, through single sourcing. He first sent his mistress Ivy to lobby Mayor Mosi, then overrule the council's rejection of the contract by ruling in court that agency justified single sourcing to safeguard the grain in the public interest. That is page 106 to 107. When sued for being the source of rodents, the case was assigned to him and he ruled in favor of his own company, claiming the infestation was a natural phenomenon. Page 108. He accepted shares in Prime Orchard Farm as bribes to silence critics, Honorable Ramdai and Mr. Basdare, who threatened to expose the Rodentgate affair. Page 108. He admitted to receiving money from litigants to deliver favorable judgments, thereby accumulating wealth through biased rulings. Page 112 and 116. He also used his judicial position to amass personal fortune, describing it as normal because everybody else was doing it. That is on page 112. Justice Ian Jaden also actively plotted with other leaders to defeat the Samaritan App by convening secret meetings, proposing the principle of double jeopardy to evade prosecution, and suggesting bribes or job offers to Nicole. This information is found on page 114 to 119, page 123, page 127, page 132 to 134. These are the consequences of Judge Ian Jaden's wrongdoing. He became visibly shocked and restless when his scandals began trending on the Samaritan. That's on page 108. He showed clear apprehension and fidgeted nervously when the Rodentgate scandal was discussed. Page 109 and 111. He suffered severe stomach ulcers and began hallucinating, seeing and smelling huge rodents and sewer rats coming for him. He was repeatedly seen bending over, clutching his stomach in pain. Page 113 to 117. He also expressed panic, screaming, "Is this the end?" and running away in distress. Page 113. He admitted to Harvester that he was in a mess and appeared tormented by the rodent issue. Page 114 and 117. He found himself in a dilemma when Mosi pressured him to jail rival leaders while his own scandals were unfolding. Page 115. His desperate attempt to evade justice, including proposals for bribes and double jeopardy, failed when Nicole rejected the job offer. Page 134 to 135. He was cornered and arrested by the Anti-Corruption Investigation Bureau officers along with other leaders. Page 138. He crouched under the boardroom table during the arrest, but he was still handcuffed and bundled out. Page 138 to 139. Indeed, no one can evade the results of wrongdoing. Follow me on all social media platforms at Wafula Wekati. I also have a website, www.wekati.blogspot.com.